Morning, everybody. Welcome to LockPod, coming to you live from the NECA IBEW Power in Indiana Lake County Studios. This is Left to Center podcast.
Episode 4, Season 14.
See,
we're back.
We be in. See. Hi. Hey, Joe.
Hey.
Thanks for filling in.
What
Tuesday.
day is it?
Tuesday.
Someone's got the vid.
Tuesday.
Shut up. She's got the vid.
No, she doesn't have the vid.
We're not allowed to say
I
that.
said someone.
Yeah, someone has the vid.
I mean, someone in the world does have the vid.
No, the fucking vid is everywhere right now again.
It is.
It's
around.
that. What is it? RSO or what is
RSV.
RSV.
That's
everywhere.
around too.
That's everywhere.
It's scary.
Why?
No,
You don't
a
like
friend,
having
of, friend of
diarrhea?
mine's mom passed away from it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
See, I'm sitting there making light of it.
No.
And then
Oh
you're
my
like,
god.
That ultimate. And she
Very
was
sad.
you know in
yeah,
poor
that's
health.
the one
but
you just. That's the one.
if you
Wow.
if you're in poor health, you're older,
And
and you
she's
get
like in her 80s, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
it
So
sucks. I'm
it's rough.
sorry about that.
No, it's all
that
good.
stinks. I know.
Kevin
that.
really
out
brought
there.
the vibe down.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, dude. Thanks,
no,
man.
I'm just reality is if for older folks,
Yes.
like really for like our parents' ages, right? Like if you get something like that, it can be really dangerous for you.
Yeah, that's rough right now, man. It seems like everybody I know, like Marissa's courtroom got hammered with COVID, which is why Lindsay's not here. I'm trying to figure that one out. I'm married to her, and I'm here, and Lindsay's married to Brian, and she's not allowed in the studio. But hey,
Why-
what's
what's wrong
I don't
with
make the
Brian?
fucking
What's wrong-
rules.
what's wrong with
I'm just
Brian?
a talent. I show up, man. I know.
I just
no,
did some-
Brian. I think Brian. I don't know. I don't think he's feeling well. I'm not sure.
We're not
I still haven't gotten
HIPAA.
Really?
Yeah.
Marissa was saying that shit a week ago.
They're all everybody's saying it.
Not saying it anyway. It's a Polish jinx. Yeah, I'm walking on thin ice again.
Careful.
Uh-oh.
Someone
I just
in
said
my
someone
household
has the
is
vid.
What?
sick. Someone in my household is sick again. I won't say who.
Really?
For
Okay.
HIPAA and OSHA
I hope
reasons.
Amy's all right.
No, I just
I didn't
assumed
say it was
I
Oh,
assumed it was your dog.
It's
Yeah,
it's
thank
pup.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, my puppy's taking over the whole house.
Really?
Yeah,
That
dude,
small?
He's a little freaking. Yeah, he's not that small.
He's a
anymore.
king.
He is a king. It's king. You know, they're bred for that.
To be the king of the
So
house.
like, that dog literally wants to sleep on your lap at all times.
Well, they're
He's
lap
just-
dogs. That's what they were.
Wait,
bred
so
for.
what do
Yeah.
you do when you're lying down and trying to go to bed?
I put him downstairs.
There you go.
He's not allowed upstairs. He's got that rule
It's
down.
a good idea.
He lays with the dogs at night, but
Mhm.
at daytime
the pack.
he's part of the pack.
Part of the
I
pack.
agree.
And he's probably got a big personality.
So Kevin, last time I talked to Kevin, he was on a runway, very frustrated, on his way to a ski trip that he was a day late for because he went to that funeral,
Yeah.
and then like it seemed like you were never going to get there. Did you make it?
I made it.
So hold it, you were on the runway for hours, right?
Yeah.
Where?
So, well, O'Hare for a little bit because, so I flied out. Jan and Charlie went out early on the regular trip. I stayed for a week, like Tom mentioned, and then I flew out late out of O'Hare, and I was on the run. The door closes. We're ready to roll to Dallas, and the captain, who was older guy, so I felt very confident in his abilities.
You don't like
and
women
pride.
pilots?
Sexist.
No, I don't
dude.
know.
That's-
I was just no.
You don't
I
like
just meant
women pilots?
what I should have said.
So,
Older
like,
pilot.
You
How
never
old though? How old? Like
He's
right?
probably like
'Cause there's-
60, right? Like you feel,
he's
you know,
probably
he's been
still
around a
cocky.
while.
He's all right, dickhead. He's
I
not
know.
old.
I felt good about that. If it would have been,
Oh, so you only like men pilots?
no.
Yeah.
If it would have been an older woman, I'd been fine too. Just like the
I don't think
younger.
so. I don't think
yeah,
that's true. I don't think that's true.
I'm fine.
Wow.
I'm fine with women pilots.
You might as well go a step further and say what color.
No, so
Just go all the way in.
He's like mega.
I was just like, this guy's been around
You're
a
like,
while.
Kevin's
right?
going full
That's
mega.
how I was
Totally.
That's what I was just feeling like. Okay, he's been around a while. That's all. I
Okay,
felt.
sure.
So I felt confident.
So
in
if
his
you see a
messaging.
young woman pilot, you're like
young
stepping off.
guy pilot. In fact, I had one on the way back, and I was like, man, that guy looks like Ethan's age.
Yeah.
You're
I
like
was
scared.
and I'm like, I hope it's a smooth flight. You know?
You have enough hours, right, son?
He's like, just about.
Yeah.
But so anyway, pilot gets on and he's like, hey, good news, bad news. We are at a full ground stop in Dallas for wind, and that means no planes are going in and out.
Was that the good news or the bad news?
That was the bad. I think he said we're going to get there. That was the good news.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't tell you when though, and because we just closed the door, I can't let you off the plane. So it was like, okay, well, I guess we're going to wait.
I don't like this.
That's like my worst nightmare.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
about an hour and plus later. So it wasn't terrible because he thought we were going to be on the ground for 2 hours in O'Hare.
Okay.
He says, hey, everybody sit down. We're taking off. And it was like, you know at O'Hare, usually like you're in a long line
Yeah.
and you're waiting. After he said that, it was like, boom, we were in the air. And I was like, how the hell did he do that? Right.
Nice.
That's probably from his experience. And then we get to Dallas and we are on the ground. I land. We don't take off for Salt Lake City till 1:30 in the morning.
What time did you land?
11.
Okay, 2.5 hours. On
Yeah.
the ground
And
there.
then I get to Salt Lake City at 3:30 in the morning. I get to the condo at 4:45
So
in the morning.
fortunately, you were there early enough in the morning where you were catching taxis, I imagine.
Oh yeah, I took an Uber.
And you went up to Park City, right?
I went up to Park City,
Which is but
40.
Isn't that the best? By the way?
Unbelievable.
You
It's my
land in
first
Salt
time to
Lake,
Utah.
and Salt Lake has the best airport for skiing. It's got like you could put your skis easily, and they have like the biggest ski rack. They're like lined up for golf and for ski.
Yes.
At that airport. So like you get out and then you get in the taxi cab at Salt Lake City Airport, and you're in Park City in a freaking winter wonderland in like 45 minutes.
35, 40 minutes at that
Isn't that
time.
crazy?
It was unbelievable.
You
First, first time to Park City, first time to Utah.
You
and
Ubered?
I Ubered, yeah. At that
What
time.
is that? What is a 40-minute? Like $100?
At 3 in the morning,
70
John,
$70.
it was $35 at 3 in the morning.
What?
Ooh, bargain.
3:30
That
in the
is a
morning.
bargain.
Yeah.
Did you get sold on LDS on the way up? I did. Every time I go there, they're always like, "Hey, you LDS?" And I'm like, first time I was like,
No.
is that a drug or something?"
What
No,
is
it was,
yeah, what is
that's,
that?
Are you a
LDS,
Mor-
I
are
know.
you
I'm like
Latter-day Saints.
Latter-day Saints.
Yeah, Mormon.
Yeah.
No, I did not get sold on that. I had a
They do that.
I had a foreign Uber
It's like,
driver.
right? But that's usually the ones that do it.
Oh, he did not.
The thing about Utah that's interesting, I mean, Utah is an interesting place because it's a very diverse place. You would think it's lily white. It's not, because the Mormon church is really big into like bringing people over from other countries.
From their missions.
Mm-hmm. And like going over, the Mormons from Utah go over to other countries regularly. It's like part of their religion. And then also people come from other countries to Utah like crazy. It's a very diverse place.
So I was
Have you been there, Joe?
No,
You're giving me that look.
I have not.
I know that look.
I was
I've
having
not been
I was having a conversation with Charlie about Mormonism and LDS, and actually I was reading an article. The 2020 census was the first time Utah is less than majority Mormon in the state.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Wow.
first time ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was interesting.
What's taking over?
I don't know. I think it's just there's an influx of people into Utah because it's so awesome. It's really a beautiful place. And,
It's the best
and
place
nice,
to
and
ski.
probably a great place to live.
It's
I
the
would
best
think,
place
and
to ski, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. Really,
Dude.
it really was good.
Like, I go to a lot of places, but when you go to Utah, it's like I never feel like more alone when I'm in the mountains there, because you'll be like by yourself, Joe, and you're like on a mountain, like, and there's nobody around. It's so freaking awesome.
John, do you have that photo of the mountains?
You're in just the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere.
See if we can throw that up. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was, coming out. Yeah, that was
And you're
it.
so small when you're down there. You're so freaking small. Like, that's the thing. Like, when you're actually on it, like from looking above, you're like, wow, that's cool looking. When you're on it, you're just like, what the? It's like ridiculously large.
So the other big thing that was going on in Park City was the strike when I was there, and it ended, of course, the day after I left.
Which strike?
The
Steel workers?
no
Auto workers?
the ski patrol.
Oh, okay.
Well, what?
And it was like a big national story that the ski
It
patrol was
is.
on strike. Yep. And
I'm
this,
Wait,
I get it
what
on my
is the
TikTok.
Ski patrol.
Ski patrol are the ones, like, if you fall on the mountain, they come up with the snowmobiles to like set your leg, or they're also, that also includes the lift operators.
and yeah, and there were all these videos of these huge lines because of the
Strikers.
strike. This was my experience generally of the line at Park City on Monday, Tuesday. So
Great video.
sorry
by the
about
way.
that. I was
Yeah,
I was
thanks
trying
for-
to- yeah, here we go. Look at
That is not bad.
No.
not bad, right?
We like flowed right into it, but you're there
look at
during the
that.
week, right? Yeah.
I was there Monday, Tuesday.
Like, you'll go there on the weekend, guys, and that is slammed.
every line, every
And
rope
then
line.
what'll happen, you'll see it filled all the way to the back, and it only usually takes you like 10 or 15 minutes to get, because those things are constantly pumping people up the mountain. They're like just constantly. They never stop. So
What I noticed was there was like a lot of like lack of grooming. You didn't see
What
the
resort is that?
Ski, that's
Park City.
Yeah, you didn't see the ski patrol on snowmobiles
Yes,
at all,
right.
Which is a little bit scary because if you got hurt,
Dude.
there were some doctors I was riding a ski lift up, and they were like, "Look, this is the bigger problem. I know they're fighting over $2 an hour, but it's more than that. Like
Yeah.
right now, if you like fell and broke your leg and you had an artery cut, you could bleed out because
well,
you
dude,
don't, you
I
don't
mean,
have time
even
to-
with ski patrol, that
I agree, it could happen,
Like,
but they were like.
you could ski off a cliff and die
Totally
too.
agree with
like,
you.
like
Totally agree with you. It was if you were just there skiing safely and didn't have a problem, it was fine.
right,
But the issue
But
was
it-
the little stuff.
right. That's like in California.
Yeah.
As long as we had the reservoir drained, it's good as long as the fire doesn't start.
Yeah.
But when a fire starts, you're like, oh fuck, the reservoir is drained.
But they got their deal done.
We'll get to that in the second segment.
Yes, we will. The Vail Corporation was just getting pounded public PR wise. They were definitely most of the people were in favor of the ski patrol people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nobody likes big corporations.
Yep. But
Right.
that was my crazy trip to Salt Lake. I skied for 2 days at Park City. It's beautiful.
I know. I love Park City.
Thank you for recommending it. Janet had been there a couple times. She loves it there. So
Did Janet? She'd never skied there though.
Yeah,
right? Oh,
she
she
had.
had.
Mhm.
It's amazing, isn't
she'd
it?
gone on a couple girls.
So
trips
you go.
and-
They have 3 different resorts connected by a tram there, right? And each resort is freaking massive. Each one, and there's 3 connected. So like you don't even have enough time on a week-long trip to see one resort, and you could go to 3, and they're connected by tram
and gondola.
By gondola. That's what I meant. It's amazing. And the houses there, they take the streets that the cars drive on in the winter. In the winter, they don't drive on the streets anymore. They turn them into ski. They're like ski runs.
Like ski out of your house and out of that.
You're skiing on a street right in front of a house, and it's a steep street. So you're going pretty fast, and you're looking at these houses that are worth $30-40 million. It's so ridiculously cool. I love Park City.
And if you remember when the Salt Lake had the Winter Olympics, that's where like a lot of the ski and stuff, all the ski stuff was up in Park City.
Park City is my favorite place to ski.
It's amazing.
And it's hard to compete with that. So
what's the other place you go to out there?
Me, I usually go to Park City, but I've been to Snowbird and Alta out there, and they're great also. And I love Utah skiing. It's the thing about Utah; it's boring, and I don't mind boring because I don't like really going out to party and stuff. I go to ski. If you're going to party, I wouldn't go to Utah. It's very boring.
I like partying.
You would think that it would be boring.
Yeah, right. The Mormons are in charge, dude. You can't even buy alcohol easy there, right? So, it's
true.
So, like, if you're going to party and hang out and go to clubs, that's not your place. If you're going just to ski and hit the hot tub, nice dinner, go to bed, that's your place, man.
Alta, for example, John, like Alta is no snowboards allowed, all skis.
Yeah,
that's only skiers.
That's how Deer Creek
That's how
is.
serious they are.
That's how Deer
They're not
Deer
messing
Creek.
around.
What is it? Deer Run? No, Deer, whatever. There's
Where?
one out there. It's ski only.
Same?
Yeah,
Okay, ski
same
only.
Yeah.
So, side note, I don't know if anyone here started watching on Netflix. It's called America Primeval.
I just started
Have not.
yesterday.
Oh my God! So
Graphic.
they don't paint the Mormons in a great light. It's a brutal Western taking place in like the 1850s out west, and the Mormons had so much control out there. I'm trying to think of that governor's
I
name.
can't think of it.
Oh man, check it out.
Brigham
It's
Young.
a wild show.
Governor Young.
Yes, Brigham Young.
Oh.
Yep.
Holy shit! I just totally
Dude,
guessed.
Brigham Young,
That's
as in
Who else is
impressive.
it going to be in Utah, though? Honestly,
Right? Yeah.
they have another governor in
impressive.
Utah.
That's fucking awesome. I'll take it. Yeah, I'm really smart.
Check out that show.
I'm really smart. I didn't know if you guys knew that.
That's the
That
answer
was
to
impressive.
every Utah trivia question.
I know.
Brigham
If
Young.
you just say Brigham Young, you
You're
got it
probably
right.
right.
80% of the time, you're solid. Yeah.
Or John Smith or whatever.
John Smith.
Yeah.
John Smith is like
Brigham Young, John
Yeah.
Smith.
right.
Yeah.
So anyway, Marissa and I went to Miami, and it was cold for them. Everybody in Miami was wearing coats. It was like 50 degrees, 40 degrees.
Like Kevin.
Yeah, Tom was in similar wear at the game.
Yeah.
This is the Notre Dame game.
Yeah, it was 49, I think, at kickoff.
Yet
Yeah.
you look at this picture, it's like sunny.
That's what Marissa looks like with COVID.
She had the vid then.
But you know what, though, John?
I'm not sure.
We're not sure.
I think the odds are possible.
Yeah. Wow.
That I was traveling with a COVID-stricken.
Double jacket, though. She's got a
Partner.
sweatshirt on and a jacket.
It was cold, dude.
It's the Steve Bannon
Like,
look. The double shirt.
It was cold. It was like we were sitting there. It was probably in the low 60s. So and it was sunny. Yeah,
It's
it
not
looks like. No, I agree. It's not cold, but it's not when you're sitting there chilling outside having breakfast. It was fine.
And
But
when you're
like,
thinking about Miami, you don't think like, oh,
Right,
I need
right.
my hoodie.
right.
Right.
But like for my people in Miami were wearing puffy jackets and stuff like that, dude. Like on that morning, I went for a walk, and they were like dressed like it was the dead of winter. So,
Yeah, actually,
dude, that's a crazy story. I want to show that in a sec.
I was going to say that Smitty was wearing a T-shirt and he was freezing. He had to go buy a sweatshirt, and they were all sold out of Orange Bowl stuff. So he ended up having to buy a Miami Dolphins sweatshirt.
I did that. I went to
Was it on clearance?
He was the only guy in the place with a Miami
Yeah,
Dolphins play.
dude, same thing. I went to the freaking Colts game with you. Same thing. It was freezing in the stadium. It was in the stadium. It was so cold. It wasn't even that cold outside. I get in there. I'm like, it was like in the 60s, and I end up buying a freaking
And I was
Colts
like, "What
thing.
are you doing in a Colts thing?" And you're like,
Dude,
"Dude,
it was
there's nothing
freezing.
there. You think I could buy a Bears?"
Yeah, it was like
jersey here?
$100 Colts sweater. It was ridiculous. There's a lot of people.
We
that fall
burned
for
it
that.
afterwards.
So Marissa and I are in our hotel in Miami. Okay, obviously it's a Notre Dame game, so it's a heavy Notre Dame, heavy. I was going to say Georgia crowd, heavy.
Penn State?
Thanks, God damn, heavy Penn State crowd.
Brigham Young.
GD.
Brigham Young.
Freaking elevator doors open in our hotel. We were just going for a walk. It's Marissa's law school roommate and a guy I went to law school with. They met the same time Marissa and I met, and they got married also. They got married after law school, but like haven't seen them in 25 years. Boom, doors open. We're like, oh my God. It was like,
That's crazy.
it was incredibly crazy.
And you did not know they were coming.
Heck no.
No
And
clue.
not just that. This is a big hotel we're in.
Are these people like you communicate with?
No.
No, just
25 years.
random.
I think Marissa has seen Kathleen. They went to a game together a few years ago.
Sure.
I hadn't seen Brian in 25 years.
Wow.
So, like, the door opens, and we all instantly recognize each other. It's like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, crazy.
That's
so
awesome.
we end up, like, coordinating with them and hanging out the weekend with them. It was really cool.
Well, and I think
to
that's
see it.
another, like certain schools are really good travel schools, like they go on the road well, and Notre Dame's one of them for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's been a Notre Dame game that I've been with you at that you haven't run into somebody from law school
I'll
or
run into
somebody that
somebody.
you know,
I'll
or
run
where we ran into somebody from the region.
Well, we have a crew that goes to, like, we definitely, during the playoff run, I've been running into the same people.
ran into
over and
Hodge
over.
Patel. He was in our
I see
section.
Hodge.
He was in our section, John.
Hodge took that picture right there that John's showing. That was Hodge. That's how close. Yeah, Kevin knows it.
Oh, that's right. You were talking to us.
That's how close Hodge was to us. It's like he snapped that picture. I was talking to Smitty and Kevin there, but
He
that was
called
out
me and
there.
he's like, "Look up to your left." I'm glad I answered the phone, by the way. Sometimes you're like, I'll talk to Hodge later. But
Yeah.
I picked it up, and Hodge was right there. It was
Dude,
great.
like, those were good seats, but those seats were, I don't know how much you guys got them for. It was like $500 each for Marissa and I. Which is,
Yeah, similar.
Which, okay, so, like, just to give you a perspective, I'm not bragging or anything, because I didn't get the lottery. I got the lottery for IU, which is great, face value. I got the lottery for the Sugar Bowl, which is great, face value.
New Orleans.
I did not get the lottery for Miami. They informed us that Marissa and I didn't get the lottery for that and for the championship game. So, like, okay. So we did the first two rounds. We did IU. We did the Sugar Bowl with New Orleans. And then Miami, we did that. And so I pay $500 each for Marissa and I ticket. And obviously we have to get out there and all that shit, right? So, like, now they're going to the championship. And everybody's like, you going? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going, right? And then I look at the ticket prices.
It's great. It's not justified in my mind.
It's like Taylor Swift tickets still.
But you're still going.
more.
You're
No,
still
it's more than
Really?
Taylor Swift.
No, I'm not going.
You're not?
It's more. I can't,
Really?
dude. Like,
Wow.
Marissa and I, well, first off, I'm times two, obviously, right? So Marissa and I are both going. And then she's like, well, you went to the championship game before. I took Kevin. But those were face value
Thank
tickets.
you.
I
Wait,
won the
when
lottery.
was that? Like 10 years ago?
No,
10 years ago.
16,
Yeah.
I think, right? 18,
2012,
16?
dude.
Oh, was it really?
Yes, 2012.
2012 is when
Yes,
we were
sir.
there for that.
Wow.
Wow.
2012.
13 years
Okay.
ago.
So,
Wow.
but we won the lottery for that.
Right.
So I had two like $125 tickets, and Marissa didn't want to go, so I took Kevin, and we went and watched Notre Dame get destroyed. Right.
Yeah.
So like
Alabama.
now it's like, you gonna go, dude, for freaking $6,000? Because okay,
What?
so, yes, 2,500 each. That's the face value, and then StubHub puts their freaking fees on top, and their fees are over $1,000
plus flight, plus hotel.
Yeah, I'm looking at freaking $13,000 to go watch Notre Dame for a 2-day trip.
All right, we got
to.
to chat. We got to start a GoFundMe for Tom. Let's get, out get down to Atlanta, Georgia.
Let's put the
I
locomotive.
need to say it works. Don't do that. I'm going to watch the game at home. Thank you. I appreciate the GoFundMe idea. But no, like, I'm not
Tom
going.
will
versus
shave
not
his
going.
head.
Yeah,
No,
yes!
Championship
No,
game.
I'm staying home. Staying home, watching the game with the region in the region. So appreciate you all. Like, I'm not doing it to beg. I'm just pointing out it's not happening,
that's
dude.
great.
It's too much money, man.
Pod's first GoFundMe page.
That's great.
GoFundMe for Tom. Like, I want to go to the game.
Here, let me
Let's
get
get
the
Tom
Tom.
to the championship game.
Yes. So
It's like, boy, that's a selfish GoFundMe page.
It's like
Yes.
Mandy Moore starting to GoFundMe
right?
for her house.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
Did you hear about that?
No.
Did?
Her
Whoa.
family member or something.
Lord.
yeah.
But-
But speaking of, when we come back after a break, we're going to come back and talk some LA Fire, because obviously as a mayor, I was watching this and watching like what the LA mayor is dealing with and how she's trying to tame the situation, and then watching how her fire chief is turning on her. It's very interesting to me as a mayor, and I think I can add some light. That
I think
maybe-
it's really good perspective, and we're going to talk about that right after the break. Can I ask you one more question about Notre Dame?
yeah.
9.5 point underdogs. I like to bet sports betting, but I'm very like tame in my betting. I don't bet a lot of money, like
Right.
really like not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I went kind of overboard for my betting on. I was like, there's no way Notre Dame loses by 9.5 points. And then some of my Notre Dame friends were
Like
like,
me.
Kevin, I don't think they could get their ass kicked. They could lose by 21.
Like me, right?
Like I didn't want to name all of my Notre Dame friends, but yes, you were one of them. So what's your take? 9.5.
I think that I would not take that. I would not take Notre Dame in 9.5. I would definitely not.
I just think
I think Notre Dame could lose by 20 points.
I mean, they're banged up, but I think Coach Freeman,
And like Ohio State is
they're on a mission.
playing
Yeah.
amazing football and destroying teams.
It's almost like when they lost to Michigan, they got a
Yes.
chip on their shoulder.
right.
Yeah.
Notre Dame did the same thing when we lost to NIU and we ripped off 12 wins in a row.
Still going.
Right, but like you said, we're really beat up. We've lost a number of great players.
Yes.
And like our offense wasn't, even when it was operating at full capacity, our offense was limited. I just think that even Georgia, I think we sort of got lucky against Georgia, which was a great team, but because we scored 17 points in like 30 seconds.
And it was special teams.
It was special
a strip
teams.
sack.
It was a short little touchdown. It was like, if that doesn't happen, we probably don't get past the Sugar Bowl.
It's interesting. Okay.
I don't know. I love Notre Dame. I want Notre Dame to win badly, but that's definitely part of my consideration is, do I want to watch? I've already been to the championship game and watched my team get its ass kicked, and it was not
fun.
I don't look back on that
in the early
2012
third quarter.
We did.
Yeah.
And I don't look back on that trip and said, man, that was a great fucking time Kevin and I had when we went to the championship game. I don't look back
Alabama
fondly
killing.
on it. I look back and say, that fucking game sucked. Like, Notre Dame got their ass kicked. I wish I wouldn't have gone, right? So, like, I would be so distraught if I spent $6,000 to watch Notre Dame get fucking dismantled. I would be distraught, dude.
Yeah.
I would be distraught.
So
I'm not going. I'm going to watch it at home. I hope Notre Dame
comfort of
wins,
your own
but I'm not
couch.
dropping 10 G's to watch Notre Dame play Ohio State. I
smart,
just don't want to do it.
and this is the 20th.
It's the 20th.
Isn't that
on
inauguration
MLK Day.
MLK Day.
And
MLK
inauguration
By the
day.
way, and
What
that's
the-
also an important day in the city here.
Yeah.
A diverse city with a Caucasian mayor. On MLK Day, we do a big MLK celebration every year. I'm always in it. If I was not in it, everybody would notice, and I don't want to do that because I'm.
Well, I mean, you've been very good about making sure that that's a big day in the city, and
It's
I
a
think
big deal.
Alana
It's a
and
big
her
deal.
team do a great job
That's
too. It's a big deal. in the
It's
city.
a big deal that day. So, like, if I wasn't there, it's a big deal. The mayor's got to be at that event.
All right.
So Chad
Bundle
is.
up, man. It's gonna be cold.
Don't
Jill,
say that. Don't
MLK
say that.
Oh, yeah,
Nine
was
John,
for a
born-
high.
Oh
He
my
was born
God.
on the coldest day of the year. I don't care what, dude, like when he was born, it's the coldest day of the year. Like literally, that's how I know MLK Day every year.
Yeah.
It's literally, you could set your watch by it. It's 4 below zero every time we like walk.
I looked. It said it's going to be 0 at the time of
No.
the
It's
march.
always
Yes,
like
John.
that. It's
Dude,
always like that.
Last year, I'm not kidding. It
was
was
so
literally
cold.
when everyone met at the Eternal Flame. My camera
flame
wouldn't
was out.
even function, dude. It
Dude,
was
the eternal
frozen.
flame didn't even come out. It's like,
I was-
I'll see you guys in the spring.
I
It's
was
like,
warming my hands at the eternal flame.
You guys just burned a garbage can.
yeah, right. Yeah, so
There'll be some hardy souls out there. Don't worry.
I'll be there. So, all right, let's do some ads. When we come back, we're going to cover some LA fires. I'm going to give you guys some perspectives I don't think you get off of CNN or anything because I'm a mayor, and it's interesting because watching what's going on with the mayor right now is enlightening for me.
I bet. I'm looking forward to hearing your
Yeah,
take.
it is. And then I know on our third segment, we're coming back, we're talking a little TikTok ban,
Yes.
which is going to affect me personally because that's my main social media platform right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really put anything out. I just watch, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to go to Instagram, I guess.
For those dancing women.
I know. Instagram's pretty solid network.
Tom's like, I
They
love
are.
my algorithm right now on TikTok.
The algorithm. TikTok knows me,
my
damn it.
Instagram's not nearly
I
as
don't
good
care
as
if
my-
it's Chinese. Like, they know me. They know me really well, damn it. I have to start all over again.
Yes.
All right, so let's go ahead and do some ads. Start with Power in Indiana Lake County, our premier studio sponsor. Power in Indiana Lake County is your source for the region's most trusted electricians. At Power in Indiana Lake County, we set the standard for excellence in electrical work. As IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors, we ensure safety, reliability, and quality for Northwest Indiana businesses and homes alike. But our mission goes beyond the job site. We're creating a brighter future for the region we proudly serve. Power in Indiana Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community. Find the right electrical contractor at powerindiana.org.
Thanks for the heads up, Kevin.
Sorry, I was.
When you want the best for your home and family, trust the best in the business, Rogers Roofing. Rogers Roofing has transformed homes in Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland for more than 55 years, providing quality roofing, siding, gutters, and windows, all backed by the best warranties in the industry. To learn more and to schedule your free consultation, visit rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145 today. That's rogersroofing.com or 933-9145. And remember, at Rogers Roofing, excellence is expected every time.
MCR Partners is your one-stop destination for top-notch expertise in economic development, finance, and planning. With a dedicated team geared up to tackle your projects head-on, they're your go-to comprehensive solution providers. Dive into the world of economic development with MCR Partners and let them guide you through the maze of opportunities. Stay in the loop and connected by checking out their website at mcrpartnersllc.com. And for tailored assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to our friend Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511.
He was traveling recently.
He was. I saw him in Croatia, which I'm totally jealous of.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Misprint Printing. Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a
Boom.
30-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team, led by Rick Baltensberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing, always on time and within the budget. Conveniently located in Munster and Hammond, Misprint is your partner for creating impactful visual solutions using the latest innovation and technology. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today. Thank you to our sponsors.
Okay.
Oh, we're not done yet.
Oh, my bad. I'm
Keep
sorry.
going, Joe. We have more sponsors.
Frankie V's, no need to dress up. It's a casual place. Bring the whole family. We have plenty of space. A hidden gem in Hammond. You don't have to drive far. Delicious food, great service, and yes, a full bar. Try our homemade pizza chips, Italian beef, sausage, marinara, and more. We have delicious pizza, pasta, and Italian foods galore. Don't go where they don't remember you. It's just not the same. Come to Frankie V's, where everyone really knows your name. Visit us today at thefrankiev's.com for daily specials, full menu, and hours.
Cantrell and Cantrell, attorneys at law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give Cantrell and Cantrell a call and schedule your consultation with someone who's in court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-5544-LAW or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife, Kristen, make a great team and are waiting to hear from you. Thanks to all our sponsors, including our studio sponsor, Power in Indiana, Lake County. And I also want to thank John Cantrell and Amy Blaker for coming in and covering for us on Friday.
They did a great job.
Real
I
good.
listened to the show.
And John, thanks
Sunday.
for producing. Great job.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
You know, I do think it's important to keep the show going. Once we are in season, we always try to put on a show every Tuesday and Friday. And sometimes Kevin or myself or John or Jill can't be here, and it's nice that we have people that step in for us.
Yeah, so
thank
thanks
you.
to all those people. And John, great job on the note that no one read.
Yep, I thought it was good.
I liked
on,
it.
man.
I thought the show was
Kevin
good.
read it.
I liked it.
I thought the show
Very
was good too. For the record,
Good.
I listened to it when I was driving. I was driving to Michigan, and I was just strolling around listening to.
I listened to it from Miami to Tampa.
Nice.
I was listening
You
to
and,
it on the
you and Smittens?
yeah.
Were you guys holding
He was
hands?
we were not. He was driving. I was doing emails and listening, and in chat, by the way, for a
Smittens?
little bit.
You like that?
That is great. I haven't heard that
Is
before.
he Smittens when him and Kevin are on vacation?
I'm smitten
together?
with Smitty.
Did you guys stay in the same room?
We did. It was a
One bed?
King size?
No,
One-
residence in. Residence in.
Honeymoon suite.
I gave Smitty the
Vibrating
bedroom.
bed.
I took the
There's a
couch.
heart-shaped sauna in it.
Honeymoon suite.
Jacuzzi.
I took the fold-out couch.
It's weird
He
when
took
you're
the
in a room with
bedroom.
Kevin. Kevin and I have shared a room numerous times. He sleeps naked.
That
So,
is not true.
like
You're
above
used
the
to it, though,
covers.
now.
Above the covers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hot
it's really
easily.
weird. He
Who
puts
needs-
the heat up really high, sleeps naked above the covers. It's weird.
Not true.
And you
but
know that really gross blanket on top of the bed? He spreads it out and lays on top of it.
I roll all over it.
Yeah, it's weird. Most people put it off to the side. He actually lays it out so he can lay on it.
When I think of
Oh,
Kevin, I think
boy.
of Morning Wood.
Oh, God, John.
There you go.
Title.
Short title.
and I've roomed with John on any
it.
occasions.
Yeah, now
as
you
well.
know why I think of that.
I love the fact that we're all like attuned to whenever a show title happens. Like you guys did that last show. Somebody said something, you're like, show title. Like, so all right. Hey, we're gonna talk about the LA fires, and we joke around a lot on LockPod. Okay, we all do. We're not making light of this situation at all. All right, this is a horrible, devastating fire that's affecting so many families and people like Kevin's family that lives in Southern California. Are like it's not them right now, but it's got to be scary as hell.
They have friends that have lost their homes.
Right, but
Yeah.
not just that, Kevin. Just knowing that
Yeah, it's-
now the fire went that way.
It's your community.
If the fire went this way, it could be my entire city.
Mm-hmm.
Could go up just like Pacific Palisades, which has basically been wiped off the map, right? So obviously the blame game has started. I know you guys talked about that in the last show, John, how it's literally in the middle of a crisis and, you know, you see and I'm not trying to be partisan here. It's just, to me, it seems like the right is taking this opportunity, Fox News especially, is taking this opportunity to just lambaste the Democrats in California.
I thought John was accurate last show when he said, listen, like I truly believe that this is too early and we got to wait.
Yes.
John, I think you're right about that. You criticized the president-elect and others for kind of going way too hard, way too early.
Yeah.
So anyway, the mayor was not in LA when this started, and that's another subject that we need to get into eventually. But like sometimes mayors travel. I just talked about being in Miami. I was in New Orleans also. Okay, so if something happens in Hammond when I'm in New Orleans, just because it happened in Hammond and I was out of town doesn't mean it's my fault. Okay, it doesn't mean it's Mayor Bass's fault because she was in Ghana and LA caught on fire. Okay, just because the mayor is residing in her district doesn't automatically make that area immune to fire, right? It doesn't matter where the mayor is when it happens. It matters what happens, what prevented it, what led up to it, and what happens when it happens, right, Kev?
What were the preparedness and, were there resources available?
Right.
And you can all look at those things later. I mean, it sucks that perhaps there's a lot of like Monday morning quarterbacking, but I agree with you. Mayors travel, mayors do things. I mean, you've been to Dublin for a football game.
Right.
What if
I
something
travel?
happened?
That's one thing. I like to travel, but I also like to be in Hammond and do my job.
Yep.
And I'm doing it yesterday I had a freaking like a 15-hour day.
And setting up a team that's doing their jobs in their departments.
So anyway, the mayor is flying back from Ghana to L.A. She hasn't even hit the ground. She literally just landed, and there's a person on the plane with her that works for Sky News, okay? And he doesn't even have a camera crew. He has a cell phone. And this is something I talked with my staff about yesterday. We all know that any cell phone could be viewed millions and millions of times, but it's not the same a lot of times when you're getting interviewed. I get interviewed all the time. When I get interviewed by a real TV camera, you conduct yourself differently than when some local person shoves a phone in your face and they start asking you a question, and you're like, when it's a phone, I almost want to be like, fuck you. Like, get that motherfucker out of my face. You know what I'm saying? But you have to that's the thing. You can't be like that. Right. So somebody shoves a phone on my face. I'm like, get that motherfucker out of my face.
I think that is your general reaction.
Right. You're like, fuck you and your phone.
Right.
Like, get out of my face. Who are you? Right. So but what you don't realize is, in this case, that Sky News reporter shoving that phone in her face was asking her questions that were literally viewed millions and millions of times.
Yep.
She didn't respect that reporter at all because she's probably like, fuck you, get that phone out of my face, right? And I thought that was real interesting. So this is her literally, you could tell she walks off the plane probably first, okay, because she's the mayor. They're probably like, I need to get the mayor out of here. They have a car on the tarmac. So she has to walk out of the plane, go down the stairs, get into her car, and go do mayor stuff, right? So, but she's waiting in the security zone. As soon as she walks out of the airplane, she's getting ready to go downstairs, waiting for her car to pull up when she's confronted by this reporter here, okay? And it's a cell phone video.
David Blevins from Sky News in the UK. Fire chiefs say that they're really stretched to the limit and running out of water. What have you got to say to that? Have you no response to that? Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today?
Okay, I think we all get that.
Absolutely
So,
nothing to
Man, she is frozen.
so she's totally ignoring him.
Yeah.
Well, she originally said, we're not going to do this here. We're not going to do this right here.
But she knows it's a cell phone. It's a guy that was on the flight. It was a guy that's on the flight
Probably.
with her because you can't get past security there. She's in the fucking gate.
She's in the
only person that could do
Sky
this
Bridge.
is somebody. So this reporter was on the plane. He probably got text he's like, the mayor's on the airplane with me. They're like, get an interview right now. And the guy probably got up and violated protocol on the airplane to get this. So you could tell the mayor's like, God damn it, where's my car? Get me the fuck out of here.
Or where's my security?
Right.
This goes on for 2 minutes.
It's
brutal, dude. And she's blowing him off the whole time. But unfortunately for mayor,
Wow, look at that.
yeah.
Oh, and she eventually
says,
Fuck
I'm
this.
going down the Sky
Yeah.
Get me
Bridge.
out of here. This guy's killing me.
I'm going
right?
to go, I'd rather go this way.
And then she walks down there and gets onto the car and leaves. Okay?
Wow.
So now, unfortunately for mayor, this video, all the people that lost their homes, all the people that were pissed off, Fox News, everybody and their mom lobs onto this video. And it was like everybody's initial instinct of Mayor Karen was she wasn't in LA when the fire started. We weren't prepared for the fires. And when she's asked about it, she fucking blew everybody off.
So from your mayor perspective, what's your feeling about how she got kind of accosted here? How do you feel?
It's not fair, but it's not, I mean, it's
happens.
fair. There's no
The
rules.
reality is it
there's no
happens.
rules in what we do, right? She has to probably never put herself in that situation. I got to learn from this. I talked to my staff yesterday about this, right, Kevin?
Yep.
I went back and I was like, guys, this was a cell phone video. We all get cell phones shoved in our face, and but this was a fail big time. So everybody's initial instinct of their mayor in a horrible catastrophe was she was gone and she's got nothing to say.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of bullshit whoever posted this that said if she was a Republican, this clip would be played on television 24/7 because it was played on television 24/7.
I agree with you, Kevin. But I didn't put it up for that reason. I put it up because I was a
just
good
wanted
video
to
of
comment
it.
on that.
Right.
So what do you think she should have done?
What would you have done?
Run right away. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, you would have probably had to answer.
I mean,
Jill, I probably would have said, "Get the fuck out of my face."
I mean, I kind of don't think what she did was wrong. I don't think I would have answered because she doesn't have any facts.
She did better. Agree. She hasn't even talked to her fire chief yet, right? She hasn't talked to her team yet. She doesn't know what's going on.
She probably had.
Well, she just got off a plane, man. I mean, I don't know. You're probably messaging. You can message on planes, right? So she's probably like
has some information, but not a lot. But
because if she says something that's not accurate, then they attack her for that.
For sure.
I mean, you could have said. I guess you could have said something like, "Look, I just got back. On a trip. I've obviously just got back.
I agree.
I'm going to get all the facts. We're going to have a press conference. We're not going to answer these questions.
But this
right
is difficult.
Right
obviously, we're all sitting here days
I'm
later.
Monday morning quarterback.
We're all days later, and we're struggling with it days later. She's sitting there having to deal with this right now, and she didn't do well.
She didn't do great, and I just think. But again, I think it's an unfair situation. But like you said, Mayor, there are no rules.
Okay, and this whole thing about the $17 million cut from the fire department budget, we're going to get into that in a second, okay? I want to do the next part, though, because the next part's interesting also. The next part is, now the fire chief works for the mayor. We all know this, okay? But I just want you to realize, like, the fire chief can lose their job if the mayor just changes their mind. Like, my fire chief, my police chief, any of my department heads work at the pleasure of the mayor. Kevin?
That's right. It doesn't mean like
what if I call up Scott Miller now and say, Scott, you're fired? And he goes, why, Mayor? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm in a bad mood today.
Or like it's not working out or whatever. Yes, you have the right to do that. He's your chief of staff. Same thing with fire chief. Now I think
fire chief, police chief, but I can't do it for discriminatory reasons.
Correct,
I can't say because you're African American, right? Or you're too old. Right. I can't do that. But like you could fire them at will.
And by the way, when Mayor Tom's saying fire, especially with fire and police, this is important. It's not like you're not a firefighter anymore.
They go back in the force.
You're not a police officer anymore. You go back to your prior rank.
So keep that in mind. So this fire chief now that we're talking about, this fire chief, I've done a lot of budgets, 21 of them, okay? And when I work with fire and police, I've never ever seen them say, yeah, you could cut my budget here, Mayor. Never seen it. They don't ever do that. They're like, hey, I'm going to cut this billing person out of your budget. And they're like, that is going to devastate the city. Like, it'll be a catastrophe, Mayor. It's like usually how public safety approaches their budget is like very important. Every penny we spend is vital. If you cut anything out of our budget, it'll have catastrophic consequences. It's like every year, and you get used to it, okay? So now in L.A., apparently, the mayor cut $17 million out of the budget last year.
Yeah, can I say something else? Because, this is interesting because there's always pressure, and I would say that, like, a lot of times it's from conservative folks that say the budget's too bloated.
Right.
You got to cut personnel. You got to cut people. There's too many people. The budget's too high.
Yeah, but public safety, the right usually doesn't.
Yeah, fair. But I mean, in general,
public safety, police is typically.
Well, and I would say also Democrats don't like to cut public safety. Right. I mean, you included. So,
okay, so we've established the fact that the fire chief works for the mayor at the will of the mayor. The fire chief wouldn't be the fire chief were it not for the mayor. So usually there's intense loyalty between the fire chief and the mayor because of that. They were chosen. This fire chief, I think, makes over $500,000 a year.
Wow.
It's a great job. Okay. So now also $17 million was cut from the fire department budget. And I guarantee you the fire chief was not happy about that. And the fire chief's probably like, I fucking told you, Mayor.
$17 million.
I fucking told you, Mayor. You told me you were going to cut the money. I fucking told you there'd be catastrophic consequences. Now our entire city's burning down. I fucking told you, Mayor. I guarantee you there's an element of that going on also, right? So Fox News is in the fire chief's office doing this interview, and you could see the moment the fire chief said, fuck it. I'm getting fired. You could see the moment it happened. So, John, could you play this video?
Yep. Was your budget for the fiscal year 2024-2025 cut?
I can tell you, I'm going to even go back further than that. Again, since day one, we've identified huge gaps in regard to our service delivery and our ability from our firefighters, boots on the ground, to do their jobs. Since day one, this is my third budget as we're going into 25-26. What I can tell you is we are still understaffed, we're still under-resourced, and we're still underfunded. So with that, whether it's $7 million, $10 million.
But was the budget cut, Chief?
Yes, it was cut. And it did impact our ability to provide service.
When you hear the mayor say it didn't affect anything at all, what is going through your head, if you can share that with us?
Sure. So just full transparency. Again, My position is to make sure that our people get what they need to do their jobs, and also, mind you, that they get to go home to their families. The amount of calls that our firefighters are running today has doubled since 2010, a 55% increase with 68 less people.
We got the idea.
Yeah.
It's incredible to me. So obviously, right after this interview, the fire chief got fired.
Well, there was rumors that she did. She did not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, she's back. And then they had a press conference together. Yeah, she's not fired.
Oh,
Yeah.
I must have caught some.
No, but I think in my mind, she may get fired after this is all done. But they ended up on stage together kind of like, hey, I want everybody to be clear. The fire chief has not been fired, and that we are going to discuss this behind closed doors later. That's what the mayor said.
So, Kevin and I did some number crunching yesterday, John.
And this is interesting.
This is interesting.
So interesting.
So, $17 million, shocking. Well, who would cut $17 million out of your budget, the fire department budget? It's still not a good look, but we started doing some digging yesterday. How big is the LA Fire Department? 3,900 firefighters.
So can you give in comparison?
Hammond Fire Department's 155. Okay, 3,900 firefighters in LA Fire Department. They have 6 helicopters, 5 fireboats, 106 fire stations, 140 engines, 43 trucks, 136 ambulances, $854 million budget.
John, how about that? And okay, so again, comparison.
Holy.
Hammond's is $35 million. Hammond's Fire Department. Okay. So it's about 25 times larger than the Hammond Fire Department.
Almost $1 billion budget.
Okay. The interesting thing about LA Fire Department is LA Fire Department, LA City Fire Department, and LA County are separate budgets.
Wow.
So we're just talking about LA City is almost $1 billion budget, and they have the guys that go up in the mountains. Those are the county guys. Those are the fire hoppers, right? That's a whole separate budget of $1 billion.
Who knows what? Sure.
Right. So let's just focus on LA Fire. So the mayor cut $17 million out of the LA Fire Department budget, right? So Kevin and I did a little bit of crunching yesterday. $17 million out of an $854 million budget is
2%.
1 point,
9 something like
right, 2%. So she cut the fire department budget 2%. Did that lead to this? That's a question we're all going to have to grapple with. But
just comparison-wise, again, that'd be like cutting the city Hammond's fire budget by $700,000.
$700,000. If I cut out of the fire department budget, we could still operate. I'm confident. Okay, I'm confident that we would still operate. It might be uncomfortable. Some of our firefighters would have to work a little bit harder, probably, but we would still be able to get the job done with the $700,000. So $17 million out of an $854 million budget is not catastrophic downsizing. It's not. And I'm not trying to defend the mayor, because there's a lot of things that went wrong during this, but
perspective is important, I think.
Yes,
is our point.
Yes, $17 million sounds
17, when I heard 17, I'm like, oh my
what
god,
an asshole!
Yeah.
Who the hell would do that? But it's out of $1 billion budget. Oh, okay,
it's
it
interesting.
Makes a little bit more sense.
I think it,
and it's not the only fire department there.
Correct.
There's 2 fire departments there.
Yeah.
County, which is huge, and city, which is huge. Okay.
Well, and I think the other thing that we kind of were asking around and talking about was this whole water thing. And again, I am totally Monday morning quarterbacking, I think, like a lot of other people are, and it's going to take a while to figure out exactly. But this idea of the hydrants didn't have water, right? And so when we talked to some water professionals, they were like, look, how do they describe it? Like a grid? Or you describe it? Can you explain that? Whole idea?
It's a closed system, and it's pressurized by water towers. Okay. And so if you have one hydrant open on that pressurized system, it's going to have super high pressure, right? Because the entire system is pressurized, and you open one area, all that pressure focuses on that one, and you have great water pressure putting that fire out. If you open a second one, it's still real high pressure. If you open a third and a fourth and a fifth, it's okay, you still got high pressure, but it's dropping, right? If you open 600 of those fire hydrants, the freaking system is going to drain. It's a closed system. And when the water runs out, it runs out. And if you lose pressure,
gonna be low.
If you lose pressure, you're fucked. And they lost pressure, they're fucked. Yeah, it goes dry. You can't get water through the system. You have to vent it. You ever see the fire department when the water department does it for us, where they go up to a fire hydrant and they spray hundreds of gallons of water through it. They clean it out like that, and it's the whole system is getting burped.
I didn't know why they did
because
that.
If they have a bubble in the system, that's not good. So you burp it and you clean it, and it's a closed hard system with pressurized water.
So it's not like it's a tube into Lake Michigan.
No, it's a closed system underneath our streets that's pressurized and just waiting to pop open. And if you pop one of them open, it's you just hose it down. It's a great system. But if you open 600 of those fire hydrants,
you're
going to
have
lose
pressure.
pressure.
Interesting. Yeah.
So a fire chief over there in California was telling this to Elon Musk in some command center. Did you guys see this?
No. Do you have it?
I don't have it on me. Elon goes live in this command center, and he's asking these firefighters this question.
I you know what?
Did you see this?
I didn't see it, but I flowed through it.
Gavin Newsom even shared it. So the firefighter explains this exact thing after Elon says, "Oh, there's reports of these hydrants being empty or whatever," and they explain this. Elon goes, "Oh," and then he cuts the live stream.
Oh my
bad.
Because for a week now, Elon's been
I know
talking about this.
Yes.
And I'm not saying it's not true. Whatever. We're gonna
find out.
We're gonna
later.
figure it
Yeah.
out. But and going back to this fire chief, my feed for a week has been, and this is why, dude, these talking heads, man, I can't stand it. Right and left.
Yep.
My feed has been, this fire chief was a DEI hire.
Yep.
Woman, lesbian. All of a sudden, she does this interview.
And they love her.
She's a hero to the right. Oh my! She's look. She handled herself well. She's fully capable. She criticized the L.A. mayor.
Yep. Good job.
I
Good
Hero
job.
of the right.
John, I think those two examples just go to show you that if things don't fit people's narratives,
Yes.
they like either cut it off or they. And I think that. And again, I'm saying both sides.
Yeah.
It's which is sad.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, shut up. Like, none of this is helping, like, fix this.
Speaking of Elon, did you see Bannon go after him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, I want to talk about that
Which
next
I
week.
love.
Next week.
I would love
that. Is going to be a next week thing on Lock Pod. So.
I tell you
I
what,
agree
though,
with
getting back to
Bannon.
California, guys, first off, Democratic Party in California, that's a devastating blow to them. They look completely incompetent.
Because they're going to get blamed no matter what. It's
course
like whoever's in
You're
office
charge.
is going to get
You're
blamed.
in charge.
Yep.
Your state is on fire. It literally. Like your brother and all your brother's friends, they'll never vote for Gavin for president. They'll never vote for Gavin for re-election. Kevin, right? You know your brother.
Well,
like,
I know
your
Matt
brother
wouldn't
grew
have
up,
been Matt wouldn't have been the first place because he
Agreed.
said it here on the Lock Pod.
but he grew up in the region, dude.
I know.
He grew up a region Democrat.
I know.
Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
So he was headed out into the world with Democratic ideals instilled into him,
Sure.
and he has been dispirited in California because of their lunacy.
Democratic leadership in or at
And
least
so a guy
leadership
like
out
Matt
there.
goes out there and he's like, listen, I'm for the working class. I'm for the blue collar guy, but I'm not for this bullshit. Right?
He's very independent in his political views now. I think he said that here.
He's more
on,
libertarian, isn't
Yeah, I
he?
think is what he said. So, like, I think, the one thing you said I don't necessarily totally agree with, Tom, is that I don't think Gavin Newsom's done. I think
I do.
As a governor, I don't think a city fire is gonna. I mean, I get it.
I think he
get
looks
it,
like
but
a joke right now, dude.
I don't know.
Like when I see him talk now, I'm like, God, like his
agree.
mannerisms. It's just like he looks like a slick car salesman to me now.
Yeah, maybe
it's like
I'm
his city, his freaking state is literally burning to the ground, and he's like, we're gonna attack it from this way, and then we're gonna get over here, and his mannerisms. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, man. You look like an idiot to me, and I'm
not there
I'm
yet.
out of his party, man.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
I'm a
go the
Gavin
fuck
fan.
away, Gavin. Gavin fucked
I'm
himself
still a
up,
fanboy of Gavin.
dude.
We'll see
John, what do you
happens.
think?
I agree with you, Tom. Gavin is not looking good right now. And every time someone criticizes him, he fires back. And then all they do is play a clip of him 10 years ago talking about saving the smelt, or something like that.
Yeah. They love
like he
that.
denies it, but then they go play a clip of him talking about it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look. I mean, think about it. Gavin even launched like CaliforniaFireFacts.com to fight this
'Cause he knows.
misinformation. Imagine.
He's got an entire TV network banging on him right now.
Tom,
They're going after him.
But imagine having, like, I'm criticizing the right here as much as I am Gavin. Imagine having a fire only 11% contained, destroyed the richest area in America, and you're having a meeting about, we got to get a website up to fight this misinformation. Who has time for this?
Well, it may,
Right.
not be, it may not have been him, right? It could have been his team.
It was his John Vesmar.
Sure.
I know, but it's just both the right and
Right,
left.
John? You know how that goes.
Yeah, I do.
I'll call him up and I'll be like, John,
We
I'm
got to go
getting
live
killed.
soon.
I'm getting killed by these guys. They're putting out misinformation. I need you to put something out. You know damn well they're doing stuff like that.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I think that I'd be worried if I was a California resident right now. It
Yeah.
seems like your state is completely run by
Well, and a lot of
incompetence.
people are moving out.
It's not a good look for California
Come back
Democrats.
home to the Midwest.
And these are the same Democrats that go off to the White House and run the country. And one of them just ran for president, and it's looking like you guys are a bunch of jokers to me. Like, I wish I was in charge of California. I think I could do a lot better job. So, honestly, like, there's You know what's interesting? We talked about this.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I'm running.
Are we moving to California?
Let's go, Lockpod and SoCal.
Oh, that'd be
awesome. I love it.
Let's go. Yeah, especially right now.
Matt, get your studio set up for us.
All right, let's go ahead and do some ads, and we'll come back. We got a TikTok ban to talk about, and I got to start changing my social media habits ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tortillas Nuevo Leon sets the gold standard in Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. Look for Tortilla Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia. ¡Yeah! De todo corazón.
Whether you're taking part in Dry January or just looking for a great tasting beer without the buzz, try the new Michelob Ultra Zero with only 29 calories and 0 alcohol. Zero is an easy drinking non-alcoholic light lager with the great taste of Michelob Ultra that you know and love. The subtle citrus aroma combines with a refreshingly crisp and clean finish, making Zero the perfect beer choice to ring in the new year and keep those resolutions on track. Michelob Ultra Zero joins the fastest growing family of beers that supports your active lifestyle and your health and wellness goals with zero regrets. Head over to the Cal Brew or Michelob Ultra websites and social media pages for details on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Michelob Ultra family with beers and cheers responsibly.
Prestmer Insurance Agency. For decades, the Ron J. Prestmer Insurance Agency has been located right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. Prestmer Agency specializes in a wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. Prestmer Agency serves thousands of people and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103, and they are here to protect what matters most to you.
Don't let your business get lost in the shuffle of generic branding and aimless marketing. Trust Northwest Indiana's award-winning full-service marketing agency, the Branding Room Floor. Providing data-driven results to help your business grow in a crowded market is their specialty. From website development and digital advertising to graphic design and branding, the Branding Room Floor will set your business or organization on a clear path to strategic success. Don't wait another day to get started. Visit thebrandingroomfloor.com today.
Are you facing legal challenges and don't know where to turn? Look no further than Kuklakis Law, your trusted source for legal advice in Indiana and Illinois. Do you need help buying or selling real estate? Call Kuklakis Law. Forming a new business? Call Kuklakis Law. Injured in a car crash or at your job? Call Kuklakis Law. No matter what your legal issue, call 219-671-6347 to schedule your free consultation. Who are you going to call? Kuklakis Law. Hablamos español.
Thanks to all our sponsors, including our studio sponsor, Power in Indiana, Lake County.
So, who uses TikTok in here, guys?
I scroll through it from time
Joe?
to time.
Not a lot. Very rarely.
Kev?
Extremely rarely.
I use
Really?
it daily.
Huh.
Daily with me. I've been using it ever since I ran for U.S. Senate. I started using it then, and it's my go-to. I don't really post anything anymore on social media. I post pictures and stupid shit like that. I don't really post opinions anymore. I do that here.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, TikTok is where I receive information,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. But the federal government says TikTok represents a national security interest because of its Chinese ownership.
Threat, national security threat.
Thank you.
Yes. Interesting. So, yeah, it's good to have a little background on what exactly the Supreme Court heard last week, and that is that
How did it get to the Supreme Court?
Congress passed a law, bipartisan support, by the way, that Biden signed into law, went through the House, went through the Senate, that says to TikTok's parent company, which is called ByteDance, it's a Chinese company, that they have to divest themselves of the company and sell TikTok, or it will be banned in the U.S. And so what
stupid?
happened was,
This seems so stupid.
well, it's interesting. So what
it's
happened?
a freaking social media.
Hold
Like,
on.
first off, it's named TikTok. It sounds dumb that Congress is talking about.
So the question is,
The TikTok bill.
how did it get to the Supreme Court? So what happened was this bill, which is going to like basically tell your company, if you're TikTok, hey, you got to close down unless you sell, decided that they were going to fight the bill on First Amendment grounds and say you are violating the First Amendment by passing this bill. And that's where it got up to the Supreme Court, because a trial court upheld it. Three judge panel court of appeals upheld it. Bipartisan court of appeals, by the way.
It seems like they're doomed to me because Trump is against TikTok because he wants to be.
Now he wants to try to save it.
Really?
Trump loves TikTok.
So
now.
you're thinking of the
Look
old
at this little devil.
You're thinking of the old Trump.
I like this new Trump.
Yeah,
the old Trump. Well, actually, so Trump said he actually filed some papers in the Supreme Court asking to hold off on enforcing the law until he can get involved and try to help a sale. So he's not saying keep it with
China. It seemed like
China.
Biden punted on it too, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I read something in the paper this morning before I got here that Biden is like, hey, I'm going to defer. No, never mind. That was on U.S. Steel.
Yeah, so on this, Trump just said, I'm not against the sale. I just want time to try to get the sale done to save
God, there's
TikTok.
2 huge transactions that are pending between administrations, between U.S. Steel and TikTok both. Isn't that crazy? 2 huge companies could basically go out of business because that's what U.S. Steel's saying. U.S. Steel's saying if we don't get the Japanese ownership in the investment, we're going to basically go out of business.
Yeah, I agree. The U.S. Steel thing, I think they should allow the sale. In my
I do
opinion.
too.
Yeah,
I do too.
I think it's good for. I think it's good for Gary. I think it's good for U.S.
Because
Steel.
Japan is our ally now, and if Japan ever becomes our enemy, then I think that we could reverse that sale.
We nationalize it.
That's right. Right,
I said
but like
that
right
before.
now, Japan is our ally, and they want to invest $15 billion into a local company
and put guardrails in that allow you to make sure they keep their.
Our congressman's against it. Our senators are against it.
And our president,
our outgoing president's against it, and our incoming president's against it.
But you know why? Because it's all optics.
It is.
It's like
exactly
U.S. Steel.
That's exactly it.
Right. U.S. Steel would not be U.S. Steel anymore.
Dude, they would be so huge for the region if they freaking invested $15 billion, and a lot of that would go into Gary.
They said $1 billion in Gary. Get the blast furnaces back. In my opinion, that's all about like making sure U.S. manufacturing is going again.
I agree. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's all optics.
We have a bunch of jokers representing us, Joe. I don't know what the fuck to do anymore.
But let's talk about TikTok.
Sure.
So
they're going to get rid of my stupid social media.
And who benefits from a TikTok sale if Trump comes in? Trump's best
buddy,
Elon Musk. This is the latest news on
That's
TikTok.
That's true, too, man. That's messy.
If Elon goes dark, it only helps X.
The guy who can buy anything might buy another social media platform.
Elon, come on in, brother.
So Zuckerberg, through Instagram and Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. And then Elon's going to be
X and TikTok,
right?
Interesting. Jeez. So this was actually
what a joke, man.
Tom, you'll get this, and for our listeners, they'll get this too. The Supreme Court really focused on the fact, and I saw a lot of the questions, and this comes from both the liberal justice and conservative justices. They kind of focused on who's saying that their First Amendment's getting abridged, and a lot of the justices were like, well, wait a minute, a foreign national company doesn't have First Amendment rights,
right?
And I thought that was interesting because they weren't saying like, oh, the lady on TikTok selling
does a company
wares
have First Amendment rights? A company does. From
American
the government,
company.
Yes.
The question is, does a foreign national company have First Amendment rights? And
that's a good question.
It was kind of angling
because, like, if
no.
you're an illegal alien, you come in, you don't have constitutional rights, do you?
No, you have some.
If you get onto American soil, if you're an illegal alien and you sneak into America, and once you get into America, you have due process rights.
I think you do.
I agree with you.
Yeah, really.
So, like, wouldn't a foreign company that operates in America have the same? We can't just go into a Japanese car dealership and say, "Screw you, we're taking it over because we're nationalizing it." I mean, we could if it's.
That's a good question. They were really focused on, does ByteDance have First Amendment rights to complain about this statute that's saying there's a national security concern, and the justices across the board, except I think for Gorsuch because he was kind of questioning it, was saying, yeah, I don't think they have national security trumps their First Amendment rights in this case. National security concerns trump their foreign national companies.
If they agree that
First
it's a national
rights.
Security threat, I think TikTok's done.
All I can say is this: I have a cousin who has lived in D.C. for decades who works in national security, and he could not tell me any details. I saw him at a family wedding in December.
Whoa.
He said, "Get TikTok off your phone." I can't tell you any details, but I could just say what China's doing with TikTok is bad for the country. That's all he told me.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
You know what though, Kevin? If you're in D.C., they all drink the same fucking Kool-Aid.
Yeah, maybe.
They all like whisper in each other's ear
Maybe.
and like, I'm telling you, man, I think it's stupid personally, and I don't care if Chinese see what I'm doing. I just don't. Like, who gives a shit? If they're like, this is a weird fucking guy, John, if they're like looking at my algorithm.
As an IT guy, John, like you probably understand this definitely more than me, and probably more than most people. Like, what's your in the most nefarious view of what TikTok could be doing? Like, what's your take?
Well, it's the terms and conditions you're agreeing to. It's not just when you're on their app. It's everything they can do when you're not even on the app. Access to your camera, access to your mic, access to your location. It's everything. Yeah.
Whoa.
It is pretty bad, but American apps, Instagram, Face, it's all the same. It's all the same. Way. Yeah.
Okay, so they're doing it anyway,
dude, for sure.
But they're Americans, so they can spy on you.
Is that why, like, I'll talk about an issue and then, like, I'll get an ad from Facebook or something?
Yes.
Because they have access to my mic?
Yes.
Wow. By the way, they have a huge settlement right now with Apple over Siri that it's been spying on us for years.
Yep.
And you didn't,
feeding you
of
ads.
course, because that happens to all of us, and you know it listens to you. Who cares, though? Like, who cares?
By the way,
I like having a phone in my pocket. I don't care if it listens to me.
Do this right now. I do. Do this right now for everyone who has an iPhone. Go to Settings, go to Siri. Turn off, listen to Hey Siri.
Oh, I did. I've done that.
Good.
I've done it a long time
I like
ago.
it to listen
You
to
want
me.
to trigger it manually. Not
I like it. I like
always
to.
listening. Yeah.
I like it to listen to me.
John, I'm so happy that I've done something you
That's
told
awesome.
me to do.
But you still film horizontal videos
Yeah.
vertical.
Sorry.
So if Musk buys TikTok and he has X, is it a monopoly at some
Then it
point?
becomes an antitrust issue, potentially.
Nah, Facebook can
Not
have
under
Instagram.
Trump's antitrust department, though.
Yeah.
So okay, so Tom, if I ask you right here to be a prophet and see the future, is TikTok banned or not?
They're going to sell last second, and they're going to lose a lot of money.
Okay.
I agree.
I think I'm with you.
They're going to, because they have a huge audience. They're going to lose the whole audience. And like, it's like me when I got kicked off of Twitter. It sucked because I lost all that I built up, right? Think about TikTok with all the people like us that they've accumulated as customers. They're going to lose all that. That's worth millions, billions, if
not trillions.
Yeah, it's like intellectual property that they've accumulated that goes away like that if they have to like go back to China, right?
Well,
so they're
going
to sell to somebody.
This isn't unheard of. I believe that there was a TikTok ban in India,
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Sorry. So this has happened before, but
and they didn't sell.
And I think in Australia it was for anybody under 18, John, or something like that. Yeah. So it's going to be really interesting, and I think Trump
TikTok's
wants to try to save it in a sale.
I think TikTok's it's the rawest. Like if
for sure,
you'll see before they filter it. It usually takes them a day before they realize I got to get this thing off.
Really,
dude, it's bad.
I think that's why they want it.
Dude, I love it. Like, honest. I mean, I don't love it. You'll see some stuff that you weren't supposed to see though.
Oh.
Like the kid that got eaten by the shark. It was like 12 hours before they. It was 12 hours before they took it down, and they realized like we got to. It was brutal. It was brutal. Like, and it was on TikTok. You could literally like watch it. Like, oh my god, it's
you shouldn't have
because there was a lot of people that saw it, and they were like filming it. Like, oh my god, like, and the guy was getting eaten by a shark.
And that person has family.
Whoa. And
his dad was like out on the coast.
His dad was it was in India or something,
saw that,
and his dad was on a rowboat watching it. He couldn't. What are you going to do? Jump in there and save him? Yeah, that would be bad.
But I agree with Tom. There's so many problems in the country. Congress can't get anything done, but somehow they can all rally around to ban TikTok.
Yeah, because it's the
How?
evil. It's
American
the evil
democracy,
Chinese.
John.
It's the evil Chinese.
Yeah,
you know that's, and I'm being.
I know you're being sarcastic.
I am being sarcastic by saying that. It's like the one thing that could pull everybody together is the evil China threat.
Yeah.
You know,
Xi Jinping, is he coming to the inauguration, or did he deny? Because he's inviting these leaders, right? Never been done before. He's inviting leaders to the inauguration.
Is he going to invite Kim Jong-il? Kim Jong-un, the man that's letting troops go to Russia to fight Ukraine.
Milei's coming, the Argentina guy.
Okay, of course, they're all coming.
Yeah.
When we wrap this show, Kevin and I had a debate last night. He wants to play a clip on the way out, and I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of have changed my
saw it? What do you think,
tune
John?
on this.
I think we should talk more like the British, is what I think.
So like,
because I say this word daily.
Okay, so like,
to whom?
Kevin wants to play
myself
because like
in the car.
Because Donald Trump, he went to United Kingdom.
It was in Brighton, and they were just doing an anti-Donald Trump rally, and it resurfaced. It's an old clip, but it resurfaced recently.
And they're saying the C word about him, right?
Yeah, but
Kevin wanted to play it, and I'm like, can you do that on Lock 5?
We could do whatever we want.
Absolutely.
We could, but like, I think it's legal to play the C word if there's a British accent, right?
Legal.
It's legal. We can't get sued. We can't get. So like, as long as if that's an American accent and they say the C word, can't play it. Right,
yeah,
but if
the
it's
British
a British accent, I think you could do it.
I mean, Jill and John have traveled extensively in the United Kingdom. What's your take on the C word?
They throw that word around like
that's what I'm saying.
I've been to Brighton.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So like, you could play this because it's British, right?
What would be
sure?
What would be like a like analogous American slang or cuss word that is used in Britain like the C word is used so commonly?
I don't think there is one.
I don't agree.
I really don't.
Like you're a little
fag?
bee or something.
No,
You can't
like
say that.
when they say smoke a. No, they're talking about a cigarette.
Right.
Oh yeah. Good point. Yeah,
That's
right.
a dickhead. I came up with a great answer, and you
did.
like shit on me.
I was worried that you were like saying it in the.
I
bad
wasn't
term.
saying.
No.
I was saying like the British
I
smoke.
didn't understand the context. I'm sorry.
Right.
What do you think? I just dropped.
I was worried. I was like.
So
sorry about that. I was trying to.
I'm gonna
protect
get
you.
canceled.
It's risk versus reward at this point.
I'm gonna
for this
get canceled.
video.
Okay, so the overall opinion is you cannot play this because it's a C word.
We can definitely.
Or we
play
could play it
Yeah.
because it's a C word in Britain, and that's like.
Just turn off now if you don't want to hear the C word.
I think we need to normalize saying this word in America.
So,
I
But
really,
you know
that's
what?
gonna go
it's
well.
not as good though if you use it
That-
all the time. Like it loses its
Oh,
impact.
dude, when I'm
Here.
gaming, I'm saying
yeah.
this word every 5
All right,
minutes.
so we're gonna go out. If you're gonna be offended, turn off now.
Yeah, it's like a soccer chant. It's like, "Hey ho, Donald Trump."
They're
Blah
so
blah blah.
good at their chants.
Very
Yeah.
good. Very good.
Love you all. Thank you, Jill. Thanks for the cover today. It's great that you came in and covered for Lynn's. Jay Vez, good to see you, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Chandler,
Yes.
thanks for finally making it back to the show. You
No
fucking
problem. I'm
gone
sorry.
constantly. Jesus.
He must forget he was gone Friday as well.
and then of course to the locomotive. It's good to be back.
This is
Miss
when
you guys.
Do you say like "see you next Tuesday" before you play this? or-
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll be back on the air on Friday.
All right.
With
Have a
another
good
great
weekend.
show, and we're gonna play.
Stay
a
warm,
track.
everybody.
And then remember, this is a British clip. Take care, everybody. Black Pod's out.
It's Tuesday.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.